Hi, I'm Don Farr. I'm the director of the Dedman School of Hospitality, and it is my pleasure to be here with John Rivers, the owner and founder of Rivers Smokehouse. Start out by telling us all just a little bit about you, your family, and your company.
Sure. I'm actually a Florida State alum, graduated just a few years ago. And since both my son and my daughter have come through, and both of them have graduated. My son, as a matter of fact, in the hospitality school. And he is working with us now here in Orlando in Winter Park. He runs all of our analytics and does a tremendous amount of creative thinking in the marketing department. And my daughter just graduated virtually a couple weeks ago. So we'll see where she ends up. But we started this business a little over 10 and a half years ago. And since we've been very blessed with it, we operate 23 locations in the restaurant division, and we have separate divisions in manufacturing, and we have separate division in retail. So we're shipping product right now all over the country and selling it in a number of different grocery stores and outlets as well.
Well, that's fabulous, and congratulations on your graduates. I have the pleasure of knowing them both, and great young people. So most of us, or a lot of us, know your restaurants, the Four Rivers, and we love your barbecue and your biscuit, but it's more than your standalone restaurants. Can you tell us a little bit about your other operations?
Yeah, sure. We diversified our portfolio about 4 years ago, and we leveraged the brand of Four Rivers and the products that we make. So the first diversification is we created a small little USDA manufacturing plant that we co-operate down in South Texas, and so we make brisket and sauce, sausage, ribs, turkey, and we ship it through Cisco and U.S. Foods and a number of other broadline wholesalers. We're on cruise ships today. We're in athletic stadiums today. We're in convention centers. A lot of times you don't know it's our brand, and sometimes they do put our brand on it, but it's been a wonderful division for us. When cruise ships are going, it really is a wonderful division for us. And then we started a retail division. And so when you go into Publix and you see our products there, or a number of other grocery stores, and we are on the verge of finalizing a deal to get into Costco, which we're very excited about as well. So those are our other two divisions, and the last one would be our foundation. Really, foundation is probably the right word because that's how the whole company started. Was a ministry effort of taking care of kids and giving back to the community, and our foundation today is really key and core to who we are as a company.
Well, you and your family and your company have been supporters of Florida State University, and in particular for us, the Dedman School of Hospitality, and our students in so many ways, serving on our Directors Council, as well as gifts for scholarships and whatnot. So we do truly appreciate your support and being here today with us as well. We hear horror stories about the hospitality industry and how it's been hit, and I think that we have surprised people as an industry of how resilient we've been. Can you talk a little bit about how COVID has affected you and your company in particular?
Oh, absolutely. And you're right. It was a hard hit. We went from 13% year over year growth, where we were sitting at mid part of March, to 50% year over year, just overnight, literally, when everything hit and everything got shut down. So operating 23 locations, we had to shut down 6 of them. 5 of them are on Disney campus, and a couple of others are around the universities and downtown. So it was a big hit, big blow. We had to unfortunately part at the time with almost 500 people on our team, which was really difficult to do, as well as close as we are from culturally. But you know what? Hats off to the team. I saw the best come out of everybody. We pivoted aggressively, and we tried very, very hard to stay ahead of the curve. We launched literally in less than a week, virtual to-go stations at every one of our restaurants that remained open before it was mandated to do that. We pivoted again, and I say we, the team was really just so creative. We put together grocery markets in every one of our stores. When we went and we saw at Publix that they were straying from toilet paper to eggs to chicken, and we started selling it. And it was kind of funny, Don. The joke was literally we had daily meetings, daily war room meetings for the first 4 weeks of this. And the joke was, who would ever thought that the best comments that we were getting that week for about, or because we had toilet paper. It was definitely interesting. And one of the big pivots that we did, and really this was became the lighthouse for us and the guiding star, is our foundation has always supported education, as you had mentioned earlier, and that's a big piece of our focus. And so when this hit, right around spring break of the public schools, we reached out to the local superintendent here at Orange County and offered, basically we have a lot of dark assets. We got a lot of people. We can put a lot of this to work to help if you need any help feeding your students. And it was kind of funny, Don. It went from, no, we've got 50 sites and we think we've got them all covered, to less than a week later, they identified like 77 students who were living in a homeless center, 200 or 300 more students that were living in an apartment complex that didn't have transportation to get to the school meals. We went from 0 to almost 3,000 meals per day.
Wow.
And then take that forward for another month later, we identified so many different gaps, not just in Orange County, but in 5 different counties around the state, that we are now serving almost 100,000 meals per week today. And in 5 different counties and 47 different locations. And because of this pivot, we were actually able to create 257 jobs. Wow. And bring back nearly half of the people that we had to depart with. So it's been a huge blessing. It lines up great. We're feeding people in need. We are supporting education, and we're creating jobs. So like I said, it really became our guiding star, and something that it was nice that the team really rallied behind. We created positive news in an otherwise really challenging time.
Well, we're really thankful for the giving back. That's the Feed the Need initiative. Is that the tagline for that?
We had to put a brand name on it. Really, sure. It's an outshoot of our farm initiative that our foundation is building. And we put out, it started literally with one email that I sent out to about 600 different restaurant partners and hotel partners and Disney and Universal and everybody else, saying, hey, if you got any extra food and you're closing down your shops and you want to get rid of it, please send it to our foundation, and we're gonna feed people with it. And this was April 4th, Don, and I had no idea what was going to happen, but food came in from everywhere. Support started coming in. Financial support started coming in from all these different organizations. As we sit here today, we have just surpassed 600,000 meals that we've handed out since April 4th. Wow. And there is no sign of it stopping or slowing down. And these are unfunded meals that we're giving to people in need all throughout the state. And we created one of the important thing was we created a restaurant network. We wanted to be able to reach different counties and different pockets throughout the country or throughout the state and provide solutions. And we worked with FRLA, and we created a network, a Feed the Need Florida restaurant network of over 850 restaurants that are in it now, representing almost 300 brands. And we've got just about every zip code covered today. And as a matter of fact, my next call after this is with the state and the Emergency Relief Planning Department of how can we utilize this restaurant network planning for hurricanes that are coming out, so that we don't have to bring in out-of-state FEMA-related organizations when we have so many great restaurant partners and hotel partners and catering partners that have facilities that we can activate all over the state and keep that business right here among our friends and partners.
Well, that's awesome. Hopefully, and I know all your customers are supporting you. A lot of them might not know that your business actually started out as a charity in mind, correct? And then you were blessed and it grew, and it's spectacular. So we appreciate all that you and your family and your company and your coworkers do for hospitality industry around and all the charity. As we go through the COVID experience, do you think there are some things that we're doing now in response to COVID that will become permanent?
There are. There's some things that I very much hope that don't become permanent.
Right.
Like social distancing. like some of the lack of contact. I think we as an industry, and quite frankly, as a species, we're made to be in community and with each other. So I very much hope that the vaccine comes out and we don't have to continue that piece. However, some of the pivots and some of the lessons learned are certainly valuable from an industry perspective of how to take precautions from a financial hit like this, how to better protect the team members, how to put means in place to protect the guests and the customers, and also too the importance of having that ability on the team to pivot and be flexible. You don't always have to sell toilet paper, but having that ability to move when necessary, be it to an alternate delivery model. You look at so many of the organizations, unfortunately, that didn't pivot for whatever reason. They were so locked into tableside service, they couldn't do it. And those are the ones that have got hit the hardest. And whereas everyone else to just, put pride aside and, we started selling family meals. The family meals were manicotti and meatloaf and potatoes and, and chicken and dumpling. And you know what? And that's what the guests wanted. And that really comes back to the core heart of being a service organization. It's not so much about what you want to do. It's as much as it is what the guest wants at that time. And our guests pivoted, their needs pivoted, and it was important for us to do the same. So one of the greatest lessons for our team is really, it was a boost of confidence to each other that we could pivot quickly. We could make alternate delivery models. And, we went from that 50% of that volume that we were doing, 10, 11 weeks ago now. We just closed out last week at a little over 80%. And, we're scratching and crawling our way back. And that 80% is inclusive of catering, which by far has taken the biggest hit because people just aren't gathering. However, in Tallahassee, just last weekend, we had booked our very first wedding coming back.
Fabulous.
Yeah, so it's nice. People are finding ways to get together and go on with life.
My son had his wedding reception at one of your stores.
Oh, did he?
He
Oh,
did
wonderful.
a couple years ago. Yep, he sure did. It was awesome.
Oh,
It was
thank
awesome.
you. Thank you.
So, there's some stress out there with hospitality students, more so hospitality students' parents. And historically, and I believe this time, that the hospitality and tourism fields will drive the recovery, the economic recovery, social recovery. Do you have any words of advice or thoughts for our students right now that are going to be graduating soon, or maybe even thinking about a career in hospitality?
Oh, absolutely. Today's crisis doesn't define our future. It is simply a snapshot of where the economy is and where the industry is today. But it is incredibly resilient, and we're seeing that. People are coming out, and be it mask or no mask. Today's announcement of Disney reopening and Universal Studios opening. These are huge businesses, especially here in the state of Florida, where there's a great dependency on assuring that this industry thrives and continues on. So the industry is not going anywhere. It'll go through some changes, more so in the short term, but it's going to continue, and that's evident by the number of places that are already open and the number of people that are coming back. And like I said, our dining rooms are full. And the moment that we're able to go to 75% capacity, I'm absolutely convinced they'll be back at 75% capacity and then 100% capacity. So I wouldn't let the immediate, timing of coming into the industry or graduating into the industry, it may be tough for a little bit while the industry gets its feet back underneath it, but it absolutely will. The state and the country cannot go on without that dependency, that strong dependency that we have on the service industry and the leisure industry.
Agreed. We're starting a master's program with the Jim Moran College of Entrepreneurship, and we have 40 plus applicants already, and it's just started, it's just open. So that's really exciting about our online master's program. So a lot of great things going on. We appreciate your time here and all that you do and contribute again to us. And hopefully we'll see you at airports and football stadiums real soon.
Yes, absolutely, Don. I can't wait to get back up there for that first game.
John, it's great to see you, and please say hi to your family, and thank you again for meeting with us.
Absolutely. My pleasure. You take care. Good
All
luck
right.
with you.
Thank you. You take care too. Bye-bye.